మంగళవారంలో కూడా ద రోల్ దట్ యూ డిడ్ ఇట్స్ సో పర్ఫెక్ట్. that innocence, that smile and all perfectly suited you. కరెక్ట్ గా అలాగే సెట్ అయ్యారనమాట ఆ రోల్ కోసమే ఉన్నట్టు మీరు. అది అంటే అజయ్ భూపతి గారు, ఐ డోంట్ నో హౌ హీ సెలెక్టెడ్.
He saw my movie Kala in Malayalam. That's how they saw me in that movie. Adukapram like they called me for this role. And initially I was a bit like, I was like, okay, but then I was like, you know what, it's a like negative character. So how I see it is that if you remove my character from the movie, how important is it? Like, you know, that's how I decide on.
Makes no sense.
Yeah. So as long as I have a, like, of course I love to do lead roles, and I enjoy doing my lead characters and whatnot. But then sometimes, you know, as an actor, you just have to. I love to see. I didn't restrict myself. Okay, because it's a negative role, I will not do it. I loved that character. Like somehow that was like, you know, it gave me that edge. So yeah. And you know, sometimes when you're doing a negative character, you have a range of emotions that you can portray. Like I feel like, you know, there is usually it is I think it is always sadness or happiness or love. You have to variate yourself in this zone, like, you know. But when it is like a negative, like a bold, or you know, like a different kind of, you have different range. It carries you. The graph goes like, you know, like, so you can put yourself in different, and you can just float into it. So that's what I enjoyed, like the changeover. Like, you know, I really, the way how when Ajay Bhupati sir said that, you know, when he's going to come and you're going there, you're like, you want to know like what happened, is who's the next person's name that is written there, what's going to happen, because she's afraid whether her husband will know that it's her name. And then she's like, oh, what's happened? And then he already knows by then. And when he puts me in that, I'm already prepared to kill him. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So that whole thing of like, that's where he wanted my change to come.
Okay.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed doing that scene.
బట్ ఇన్ రియల్ లైఫ్లో కూడా ఇఫ్ యూ సీ, అంటే మన అలా కైండ్ ఆఫ్ క్యారెక్టర్స్ చూసినప్పుడు ఇట్స్ వెరీ, అంటే రిలేట్ చేసుకోవడం కష్టం. వీ కాంట్ రిలేట్ టు దెమ్. వీ డోంట్ ఈవెన్ రీడ్ అబౌట్ దెమ్ అంత ఫ్రీక్వెంట్ గా మనం వీ డోంట్. బట్ relating is one thing, and living in that character
is a different thing. See, that's one thing. Like, you know, I enjoy it at that time. Once he says cut, I'm out of it also. I don't understand this whole thing of like, you know, I enjoy being someone else. I know I'm playing someone else. Like that much, you know. Like, and then you can, because you're playing with your facial expressions, you're playing with your faces, and you know how you're emoting, and it's just fun to do that. But that doesn't mean that, you know, you get into deep in that. Emotionally, you get connected to that. I can't do that because some of the characters that I've chosen to do also, like, I don't agree with it, and completely that I don't agree with, I don't take it up also. That's also there. There are some characters where that's come to me, and then I'm like, I don't feel it. Like, you know, sometimes it happens. Like you feel it. Like that's where I draw the line. Like, oh no, I can't do it, or like you have to let go of certain things. Like, you know. But this one was interesting for me. She's frustrated. So I created the whole backstory in my head. She's frustrated. She's angry. She's like, you know, and that's how Ajay Bhupati sir explained that to me, like, help me, because she's being abused by her husband. And you know, and these things happen in real life, you know, and people don't talk about it or anything, but you see that around you. So then I felt like, okay, you know what, why not? It's not like it's going to change anything or anything, but then at least it's shown out to people, right? Like whoever is this nice portraying people, not necessarily, they have their reasons. We are not known to judge, but they have their reasons to do whatever they want. But this is life.
Exactly,
yeah. So and that was important, and it was important, and he was so adamant, you know, about that, and he was like saying that there are so many people, and I initially even I was like, why can't she just leave her husband and then go and do whatever she wants? Like, you know, that's what anyone would do with common sense.
But like, it's quite unusual in villages. Leaving a husband is
and then going, and he's like, no, it is not. It's not for people like that. It's not. They like to, and for them, it's so important. This image, you know, this respect, this you know,
That the family carries.
The family carries and everything. That is important. So we had a long discussion about this for him to, you know, tell me, and then it made sense to me to a certain level that why this person is like this. And obviously, it's a bit more dramatic in movies, not like that in real life. But this is what, you know, makes you think, no? Like,
Yeah.
there's so many people, like, you know, I know, like, after coming to India, moving to in 2020, I made this decision. Okay, I'm taking up acting.
But right now you're not doing.
No, I'm not. 2019 August, I resigned.
Okay.
And I moved to Kochi 2020 Jan 1st. So
Okay.
that's, and I'm grateful and happy that I've taken the decision, you know. It took me a while to decide that, because you need to have that financial stability, because this industry, as much as it's glamorous and beautiful,
It's uncertain too.
it's uncertain. There's a lot of uncertainty around it. And I knew that you're not getting, like, so I'm so used to having this monthly salary every month. You plan everything, you plan your finances, you plan everything is planned. But here no matter what you do, how much ever you plan, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So so you have to be like, you know, so I want to make sure that I'm financially okay. So then I'm not like, you know, and I can choose what I want to do. If the movie is nice, if the script is well with me, it's like I get to, I'm not like desperate for work in that sense or anything of that sort. So I have that freedom to
choose.
Yeah, and that was important to me.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's where I am right now.
But you quit your job and you came here.
Yeah.
Like this pressure of not doing work every day and
Yeah.
expecting work and expecting more work.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of a pressure for you?
You know, it's like, it's not a pressure. See, that's why it's important that you need to have some sort of, like, that's why I took a break and I was continuously working. I took some time to decide. So financially I was okay. I made some money, I kept some, you know, so financially you're good. You're not like, you know, you're not depending on, and of course you have your parents' backup also. But you can't every time, you know, your first month you can ask, second month you can ask. After that, you're like, your parents are like, what are you doing? You left your job and you came here. So then that's always going to be there.
Yeah.
But this, you don't let yourself, sometimes some movies you might have to do, you know, where if you see financial gain, sometimes you do certain things for, you might take a lesser remuneration, but if the character and the team and everything is good, if it takes you to another level and you get that satisfaction, it all depends on how you want to, it's all up to that person sometimes. And I have this actor friend in Malayalam, he's like, and he's directed a movie. He's very famous. Okay, Dhyan Srinivasan. So Dhyan, I remember he telling me, like, I was like, Dhyan, he's so busy and you know, he's going continuously, he's working, and whenever he's very funny, he's a funny person. And he mentioned this to me, saying that sometimes you just have to do movies because we are actors. This is what we are doing. This is our job. So as any other person, you have to consider this as a job. Yes, sometimes for me it's difficult to name a price tag on myself, on my acting or you know, for work. But sometimes you just have to stand strong in your ground and you say that, yes, this is what I am. And then that's where you make that decision whether you want to hike up your price or whether you want to lower your price or you know, things like that. And so he was saying that sometimes you just do movies to maintain that lifestyle, to maintain, you need to work. You can't say that, you can't go to a grocery store and say, oh, I'm an actor, give me this. They will not do that. But when you go to, you know, for when they come to you for something, like there are people who will come to actors or you know, singers, or even to you, like, you know, everyone who is famous, they'll come to, like, can you just do this for us, can you just do this for us? And it doesn't work like that, like you know, so you have to really stand your ground and make your this is a struggle that people really don't talk about. Many people in the industry, that they don't really talk about the struggles. They talk about all the, oh, the movie was fantastic, or the struggle in the movie,
only the glam side of the industry.
But these things, so anyone who's, you know, who wants to come to this, I know there are so many young men and women who want to you know, be in the limelight and be, always make sure that you stand your ground and you have financial independence. Don't put your head down to anyone. You know your worth. Don't let anyone else decide that for you.
Yeah.
So for that, that is very important. I feel that is important, because at certain times, people will try to put you down by bringing your worth down. That doesn't mean that that's them. You know, that's how much they can do. That doesn't have to indirectly mean your worth. You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah. As we are speaking, I have a question here. Like,